Monday to you and welcome. We are broadcasting live today at Wisconsin Harley-Davidson. It is our second official of the Bill Michaels podcast. We are glad you are with us today. Thanks so much. Today is going to be a unique day in the sense that we're going to do some sports talk. We are going to do some motorcycle talk, and we're going to talk a lot about warmer things. I know that the weather outside yesterday, not the way you wanted it to be when it comes to the ability to get out and ride. But that being said, today is a little bit better day. It's still cold outside and the snow isn't flying. You got some sun, at least in this portion of the state, which we're coming to you live from Oconomowoc, Wisconsin, as you see down there on the screen. But we are glad you're with us, and we got a lot to get to. Green Bay Packers getting set to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the NFC Championship game at Lambeau Field. Excited about this on so many levels because I think the Green Bay Packers, like last year, remember, last year they had a season in which they had lost in the NFC Championship game. They lost to that team already. And I don't think there was many of us when they went in to that NFC Championship game. I don't think there was many of us that thought, you know what, the Packers have a legitimate shot at winning that game. I think San Francisco was just too much to handle. The Packers were not nearly as good, as apt at stopping the run as they have been this year. Don't get me wrong. They're not a team that I think is ready to fly by any stretch of the imagination when it comes to the ability to stop the run. But I also believe that this is a team that has gotten better at it. I mean, if you just go by the numbers, we talked about this the other day when we were down at MKE Brewing. When you talk about the Packers, the last time they lost a game, they gave up 34, and that was to Indianapolis. Since then, they've given up 25-16, 24-16, 14-16, and 18. I mean, this is a team that against the run has gotten dramatically better. When it comes to giving up points, they've gotten dramatically better. So this is a better football team, and I think that's what a lot of people are looking forward to, is the honest hope that this team can indeed get themselves a win. So, and I really believe they can. We'll find out a little bit later on in the week about A.J. Dillon. I know that Matt LaFleur said that he was hopeful that he was going to return. But really, when you look at what happened with the New Orleans Saints, the Saints lost to Tampa Bay in the same way the Packers lost to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay was able to put pressure on Drew Brees, force him into a bad pass, also forced a couple of picks, got the ball tipped into the air, couple of quick turnovers. Next thing you know, and Jared Cook obviously fumbling away the football, and suddenly you're on the outside looking in if you're the New Orleans Saints. So I really feel like the Packers, if they don't turn the ball over, are going to win this contest. I think that they're a much better football team. I think offensively they're a juggernaut. I really believe that. I think defensively they have gotten a lot better. Are they great? By no stretch of the imagination. Okay, we know Tom Brady is Tom Brady. That guy's got a knack for just winning. He figures it out. He figures it out on the fly, and he's got the ability to do that. You look at his weapons and Evans and company, and certainly Gronk is a tough guy to cover. And who the Packers are going to assign to Gronk consistently is going to be another question. But when you look at Tom Brady, he's not afraid of the cold weather, even though he has lived in Tampa Bay, I mean, for a year or more now. But come on. I mean, this guy is a guy that's used to playing at Gillette Stadium, where they've had severe nor'easters when it's brought terrible snowstorms. I mean, obviously, he played in the tuck rule game, for guys' sakes, when Charles Woodson had him stripped, and we all know it was a fumble, and they say it wasn't because he was tucking the ball away. So anyway, long story short is I'm not worried about Tom Brady if I'm a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan coming into a cold Lambeau Field. And there's supposed to be some snow in the area. I did see the forecast, about 30s and some snow. That's not going to really, as long as you don't have a lot of high wind and really frigid temperatures, that's not going to affect the Tampa Bay Buccaneers too much when it comes to the ability to play at Lambeau Field. So if you want to hit us up, you can hit me up on any of the chat rooms. You can do that. You can fire off some questions over on Facebook. You can fire off some questions over on Twitter. You can fire off questions on the Instagram page. I know that we've got that going on. Our Edge. Yes, Edge, I can read those. There's my buddy Dwayne. As a matter of fact, my buddy Dwayne, who has Cover It All, who does unbelievable work. And you're going to see that next week. We're going to be, I believe it's going to be Tuesday, but we're going to be heading up to Wausau. We're going to take this podcast on the road. We're going to be heading up to Wausau coming up next Tuesday. So, and that'll be kind of a recap of the NFC Championship game, and then a prelude to what we're going to do regarding Super Bowl as well. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's do this. Let's take a look real quick. I want to show you just kind of the showroom of Wisconsin Harley-Davidson. This is where we're at. And they got tons of bikes in-house. Obviously, a lot of people are interested in buying new bikes and getting used bikes, and they've got a ton of inventory. The 2021s are rolling in, which is the reason we are here. And I'll give you a quick example. Let me do this real quick because I'm just learning how to do all this stuff. But I want you to take a look at this because this is going to be my next bike right here. Okay, this is going to be my next bike. I want to when it comes to buying a new motorcycle. This is the one that I want. Check this thing out. Look at that. Oh my goodness. That is a like a gunmetal denim on a black denim road glide with the higher bars on it. Let's close up on this thing. Look at that. That's an amazing new bike they have out. Good sound system, the HD sound system that they have in these things now. Yeah, I'm drooling over that. You put a middle seat on that thing, and I'm a happy guy. So that's pretty sweet. I'm loving that bike big time. Anyway, hey, Chris, love the show. Bill, love to have you as a guest of mine at McGuanaga or Go Pack Go. Chris, let me know when. I'm good to go. Michael wants to know what company I'm signing with. Michael. I signed with the Bill Michaels company. How about that, huh? If you got a question, by all means, shoot it off. Julie. Hey, Julie. Julie, I went to grade school with. Julie from years and years and years ago. Card Guy says, what's good? All of it's good. As a matter of fact, I want to give a shout out to a lot of our good sponsors, too. I got to say hello to our friends from Budweiser and Bud Light. Bud Light Seltzer. Bud Light Seltzer, unquestionably good. Go to budlight.com, and we're going to do some of these for Bud Light all throughout the Milwaukee area as well. Also got to say hi to our friends at Quick Trip. I stopped there a little earlier today. As a matter of fact, I don't normally promote them, but I did. I stopped in and grabbed a Red Bull today. Had to. I was a little bit busy, so I stopped in there. And yesterday I was out and about and stopped and grabbed some of that fried chicken. The chicken tenders, fantastic. Thanks to our friends at Quick Trip. Thanks to our friends at Bud Light. Thanks to Stoley's Hog Alley. Jeff and his beautiful wife, Alicia, they got Stoley's Hog Alley, a great place for a family and bikers. Also, Stoley's Old 108 up in Watertown, another great place to go. Say hi to our friends at Sloppy Joe's, Joe Hennis and the crew over there on Hubertus, in Hubertus. Got Ryan and the guy. Oh, my goodness. How we doing? So stand in front of that camera right there, okay? So I was just telling you, there you go. That's Jeff and Alicia, and from Stoley's Hog Alley and Stoll's Old 108, bringing in the pizzas. Come on over, Jeff. Sit down. You can throw the pizzas down there, or we'll get somebody to come over and grab them real quick. Come on over and sit down here. Throw the microphone on. Nah, that's okay. That's okay. Look at, there you go. The special pizza. How about that? How you doing, man? Good to see you.
I'm doing good. How you doing?
We got to get a headset on you and get you all mic'd up here since we do these things live. How you been?
I've been good.
Yeah?
I've been real good. How about you?
I can't complain. Life is good right now. And for those that are just checking us out, we are, again, broadcasting. If you're looking at the scene, it's live from Wisconsin Harley-Davidson here in Oconomowoc. And I'm going to turn this towards him so you can see Jeff a little bit. There you go. Jeff, the world Jeff.
How we doing?
So tell us about Stoley's Old 108, the new place.
109.
Or 109.
109. Well, Stoll's Old 109. That is.
How did I miss it by one number?
Well,
Was I drunk the night you told me about it when you were at the house?
That happened.
Doing all the dancing?
Possibly.
Okay.
109 is the road in front of it, which is now County Road R. Used to be called 109. That's where the name came from.
Okay.
Alicia should be over here with me too. But anyway, yeah, we've got a great facility out there. Great, huge facility, actually, inside, outside dining when it's nice out. Huge kitchen. Just in between a lot of smaller communities out there that was in need for food.
Good.
A good restaurant.
Good stuff. And you brought all kinds of pizzas for the whole gang today.
We did. Yes, we did. And
I got to give you a credit card and let me know what it is by the end of the day. But so
give me the credit card. I'll take
everybody around here is going to be happy because of it, without a doubt.
Awesome. Thank you.
So glad to have you. Alicia, hi. You want to say anything?
Oh yeah, bring her over here.
This is podcast. We can do anything. We can do anything here. You sure? Come on over. Come over and say hi to the world. World hi to Alicia.
Hi, everybody.
That's it. There you go. So anyway, that being said, again, broadcasting live out here at Wisconsin Harley-Davidson, and as I had mentioned before, a tremendous place. And they're also a huge, and so is Jeff and his wife Alicia, but they're also a huge, you can see them over there right now. They're also a huge supporter of the Fisher House ride that we do. And also, they do a lot of stuff on our motorcycle ride, the Big Unit Poker Run, every year. So we have such a great time with them. They do so many great things with us, and we certainly appreciate them hanging out and stopping by and everything that goes along with it. Okay, got to get into yes, Edge. I can read those, absolutely. As a matter of fact, Julie says good food was just there for the first time not too long ago. Frosty the Snowman says found you. Glad to hear it. Unable to see the motorcycle that you were looking at, Ben said. Ben, you didn't see the motorcycle? How did you not see the motorcycle? I'll put that back up there again, because the motorcycle that I was looking at, that thing was oh yeah, the new Road Glide. Oh, so it's just a beautiful bike. Here, I'll let you take a look at it again real quick. Make sure you can see that. Okay, make sure you can see that while I talk. So anyway, big time. I wanted to let some people know where we're at, what's going on out here. Hey, a couple of different things regarding the Green Bay Packers. Now, one of the things, first and foremost, you know what? You're right. I see that it is not airing properly. So we'll have to figure that out. It should be. I don't know why. I don't know why it's not, but we'll see. We'll try to figure that out. Anyway, we're back. We're back to our live camera. So anyway, wanted to get back to talk regarding the Green Bay Packers. And in regards to the Green Bay Packers, I got a lot of questions. You know, first of all, this one's from Jacob, who says, do you think that Aaron Rodgers can continue to play this way? My question to you, Jacob, would be, why not? You know what I mean? I mean, think about it. Why not? Why do you think he wouldn't be able to play this way? Aaron Rodgers is having a tremendous season. He's going to be the MVP. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I think that, you know, the vision that he has, the chemistry he has. I saw Marquez Valdes-Scantling the other day, and he was talking about, you know, kind of playing for one another and the way they're playing ball right now. So the question to me, or question to you, would probably be, why not? Why would you think that he would not have that kind of an MVP style of season? So as they wheel one of the newer bikes up here in front, that thing is just badass. That's Mike, by the way. Mike's pushing motorcycles around, waiting for Mike to hit the camera and just take a tumble. This one's from Jason. Jason also wants to know. He said, "Hey, do you think AJ Dillon's going to be back for this one?" I mean, I hope so. I would love to see that. I would assume he would be, but I don't know why he wouldn't be. You know what I mean? I think that AJ Dillon, while he did take that shot to the quad, and it's a tough bruise, whatever he happens to be dealing with, I think that, you know, you would hope that he's able to come back, but I'm not overly concerned about it. And here's the reason why, is because he has been kind of the backup to the backup. He's been a guy that's been a good 3 and a good 1-2 punch that is, you know, Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams. So as much as I want to see AJ Dillon come back, and be able to be a part of this, and to be, say, the short yardage guy, or maybe just a different burst type of player, it gives Matt LaFleur versatility when it comes to play calling with what he can do. Now, the one thing that you got to remember is everything does not rest upon AJ Dillon, and the reason why is because AJ Dillon is not as astute when it comes to the blocking and picking up blitz pickups and such, and being able to catch the ball out of the backfield. So you're not going to see him increase his role dramatically, but you will see him increase his role. You know, I mean, he's going to you know, get some looks if he's there, if he's able to go, but he's not. I mean, I know some people want to see him carry the ball all kinds of ways, and I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen. 855-830-8648, 855-8, or I shouldn't say that. That's my old phone number. That's habit right there. That's not the phone number to get a hold of me. The way to get a hold of me right now, if you want to get a hold of me, would be simply to go to Gmail or hit me up on some of these different ways that you're watching the program right now. You can hit us up on Facebook. You can hit us up over there on Periscope. You can hit us up on the YouTube channel. Multitasking to change subjects. Do you think AmFam Field, the Brewers, will have full crowds this year? That's from Ryan. That's a great question, Ryan. I would love to see it. I don't think they're going to have full crowds right away. I think, put it this way, Major League Baseball was leaning for a long time towards if one stadium cannot have crowds, no stadiums can have crowds. They don't want to have what they consider to be an unfair advantage. But I also think that they saw what the NFL did in the sense of being able to put fans in certain places and other places didn't have them. And I think for any owner, it's all revenue share, right? For any owner to be able to make money, I think is a good thing for Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball's got to get out of their own way. They really do. They really did a poor PR job last year. I mean, it was great to see the season culminated, but I think they did a really poor job last year publicly of positioning themselves. And I think Rob Manfred extremely poor in the way baseball was presented to the fans after all the arguing over the money. And that really, I think, rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. So, in that sense, baseball's got to do a good job of that this year. I would love to see fans in the stands. You're right, Kyle. Absolutely. Ryan says, hopefully they'll evolve to what the NFL did. And I 100% agree with you. 100% agree. Card Guy Rick says, if the Packers can do it, should they pay Aaron Jones $15 million a year or trust 30 and 28? Man, that's a great question. I don't know. Aaron Jones is just a different dynamic. If you could pay Aaron Jones $15 million a year for 2 years, I'd do it. 2 years, you can live with that. Front load it, you'll be good with it. But I don't know if I'd be able to do that for a longer period of time, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't know if I could do that for a longer period of time. It's just because running backs in the National Football, it's not like a quarterback. If a quarterback starts to lose it, their legs go, they throw a few more picks. Statistically, they don't get as good. If a running back loses it, they just fall right off. And I look, now Kamara and Dalvin Cook and such are different types of running backs. But Aaron Jones has proven back-to-back years now that he is taking care of his body, and he's going to – because remember early on, they didn't use him a whole lot, and he was banged up. And then when he made the commitment, not this past offseason, but the offseason prior to, when he made the commitment to lose body fat and to get heavier, get stronger, that's when the durability became more prevalent. So to answer your question, it's a long way for me to go from point A to point B to answer your question. I would have to say I don't want to see him go. I think he's a dynamic talent. I think he's got just the eyeball test, an innate ability to be able to create. Just leave it at that, just to create. But I would go short term rather than long term. The problem is I think a lot of people are going to go long term. Frosty the Snowman says, look at Ezekiel Elliott and Christian McCaffrey, a lot of money down the tubes. 100% agree. I also think, though, Zeke Elliott, remember, he was going to go sit. He wanted to be the man. He didn't take it serious. Zeke Elliott has taken it serious for a few years in his career, and he's all about showing off his abs. And he's always had some things that have followed him. You always question his work ethic. And let's be honest, he has gotten heavier. And I don't think the heavier is in a good way. So I would think that I think there's a different level of commitment there from Aaron Jones. Just my opinion. Remaining primary backs, Fournette, Jones, Bell and Williams. Yeah, I agree. I don't really fear Fournette. As much as people, look at Fournette as a name, I don't think Fournette has done the same as he did certainly in college. He's been a good runner, but not a great runner. You know what I mean? I honestly think that Aaron Jones is a better running back than Leonard Fournette. That's my opinion. So give us a shout. If you want to hit me up over on the mailbox, go to thebillmichaels@gmail.com. That's thebillmichaels@gmail.com. Again, thebillmichaels@gmail.com. So if you want to chime in, go ahead and do so. I'm going to try this one more time. See if this airs. See if that works right. Kind of putting it on air right now, just to kind of see if that thing works the way it should, because it's a great look around the dealership. No, it's not. It's not coming through for whatever reason. I can see that. Not coming through for whatever reason. It's a shame too, because we shot some really. I'm gonna put all these videos up, all the videos that I've been running that haven't been able to air. We're gonna put those up on many of these platforms coming up after the podcast. One of those technical things that first couple of times out you're gonna have to try to figure out, but for some reason they're just not airing the way they should. But we'll definitely get them up. We'll definitely get them up. Linda Looper, how you doing there, Peanut? Appreciate you. Packer houses, I see that. There you go. Do I think snacks will do that? When you say, do I think snacks will do that? Well, I'm not quite sure what you're talking about. Carl from the South Side. Do you mean get into the mix? Let me know. I got a couple of emails here. Let's get to the emails because there's a lot of them floating around right now. This one, let's see here. Pumpkin Seed says, can the bikes clap? No, but they're badass. The motorcycles here are badass, without a doubt. Really cool looking. A lot of new ones. And like I said, we're here because the 2021s are arriving. And that new one right there sitting right in front, that's the gunmetal. That's the gunmetal gray with the black. It's a denim paint. It's got the 114 engine in it. It's the Road Glide. It's got the higher handlebars on it. It's got the boom audio system in it. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful bike. Beautiful bike. This one's from Jim, who wants to know, do you think Mike Pettin will be fired at the end of the season? A lot of people were calling for his job. I, for one, think that finally he's got a healthy team. Your thoughts? No, I don't think so. I don't think Mike Pettin's going to be fired at the end of the season. My question would be, why would he be? Because things didn't go well early on, but once, as the season went on, the defense got better. As the season went on, the defense got better. I mean, think about this for a second, okay? When you start to look at the numbers, all right? When you look at the numbers for the Green Bay Packers, the Packers ended up finishing 9th in overall defense. They were number 9 in overall defense. The number 1 defense in the National Football League this year was the Rams, followed by Washington, Pittsburgh, New Orleans, San Francisco, Tampa Bay, Baltimore, Indianapolis, and then the Packers. We always said if you got the Packers near the top 10, you'd probably end up winning a championship because of it, right? Okay, so when it came to, say total yards given up against the pass, the Packers were still solid. Packers were number 7 in the National Football League this year. Number 7. So they got better against the pass, and that's due in large part to that secondary. For as much as you want to rip Kevin King, you want to talk. Savage didn't have a great season until you get to about week 10. Once you get to week 10 after that, maybe even earlier than that, he really started playing some good football. Kevin King came back and got healthy. Once Kevin King got healthy, things really began to materialize for him. Obviously, making things a little bit better up front, getting Kenny Clark over the injury, Zadarius Smith getting him over the injury and all that kind of stuff. I mean, so once that happened, and guys started feeling better, this defense really started to come together. You got Kirksey back, then you got Barnes, then you got Martin. Both of those guys were coming back from injury. So once guys started to feel better, a lot of these guys really started to come on. And the other guy, I think that you can't, kind of gloss over. Rashawn Gary has played extremely well. Now, he's not that big-time pass rusher to where he's going to be this Reggie White disruptor, okay? That's never been his forte, even when he was at Michigan. But what he has been is a guy that gets pressure, cuts off cutback lanes. He's a better tackler. He's a guy that's been able to help you with the run. So, I just think that a lot of different role players really started to come together. And this team in many facets, when you look at this, specifically the last 4 games, 16, 14, 16, and 18 points per game is all they've given up. And really, since going back to the loss at Indianapolis, they have given up 18.4 points per game. I mean, that's saying something, right? I mean, they've given up yardage, they've frustrated the hell out of you, maybe bit your nails a little bit. But the bottom line is that they've been able to stop teams and they've given them field goals and not touchdowns. And that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing for this team. What else do we have? This one is from what do we got? Oh, this one is from Packer backer Ken, who listening to us or watching this in Kansas City. Do you think that the Packers have enough to knock off the Chiefs? That brings me to the next statement. A couple of different things. First of all, I find it amazing that, and I don't know if you're a Packers fan or a Chiefs fan, but we all saw when Patrick Mahomes went down. He got up like he was like a fighter that got tagged on the chin. For them to say this was a pinch of the spinal cord or a spine or a neck nerve or something, come on. We're not that stupid. I mean, I know. Tell me this. Anybody this season, Gary, yes, it's on YouTube. Anybody this season that you've seen get up starry-eyed, glassy-eyed, and wobbly, has it ever been called, don't worry about it. Nah, we got this. Just a pinched nerve. Not one. Not one. So the reason they labeled that is maybe, now they have to have him examined by an independent physician. I understand that, but it's because you don't want to put him into protocol. Although, look, give him credit. He's doing well. Whatever it is they're doing, he's doing well. So Patrick Mahomes most likely going to be coming back and playing in the NFC Championship game or the AFC Championship game. Now, going back to your question, can they beat them? Boy, they've got a lot of weapons. And I would almost expect that game to be somewhat of a shootout. As much as I think this game this weekend is probably going to be 35-33, 35-29, something like that. I don't think this is going to be a low-scoring affair. As much as I want to believe that the Packers defense is going to hold this team under 18 points per game, I don't think it's going to happen. I just don't think it's going to happen. So I think the Packers are going to win. I mean, I'm going to make predictions at the end of the week, but I think the Packers are going to win this game. I think the Packers are going to a Super Bowl. I really do. Ever since they lost to Indianapolis, I really believe the Packers were going to the Super Bowl. And I know that's crazy to say, but when they came out of that game and they turned the ball over 3 times against a good defense, because that was the big thing, is everybody kept saying, well, they can't beat a good defense, right? They can't beat a good defense. They can't stop the run. They can't beat a good team. So Indianapolis, they go on the road. They turn the ball over 3 times, and Mason Crosby still splits the uprights, and they tie the ball game. It was not until that 4th turnover, we all know, that they ended up losing that contest. So the question then is, why do I believe that they were a Super Bowl-bound team coming out of that ballgame? Because I think they learned how to win. You go back to the game against Tampa Bay, coming out of the bye week, you had Devontae Adams coming back, no Allen Lazard in that ballgame. You were down some of your weapons. You're still kind of piecing things together. And I think that game was the panic game. That game was the, oh my God, here we go again. That was reminiscent of what happened to them in San Francisco in the NFC Championship game last year. You turn the ball over, you get behind, suddenly you're trying to force the ball to Devontae Adams. You're getting away from whatever it is your game plan is. Now in Indianapolis, you step back, you go, wait a minute, we turned the ball over. We did this, we did that, we did things that are just not our game. But we figured out a way to tie that ball game up. We didn't quit. And we were in that game against a good team, against a real good team. And we came back and almost had a shot at winning that. It was at that moment in time that I looked at this thing and I thought, you know what? And Aaron Rodgers said it was a lesson learned. He said, I know that sounds stupid coming out of a loss, but it was a lesson learned. At that point in time, I thought, you know what? They got this. They can do this. They can do this. So that's why I've kind of been on that bandwagon of why not the Green Bay Packers. They got a really good offense. They got a defense that was ascending. And everything that I say for you to win a championship has to happen. You got to be good. They're a good football team. Okay. You got to be a little bit lucky. Okay. They've had some luck go their way, right? You got to be healthy, and they're getting healthy. And then you got to be hot. And they're hot. They're hot right now. Think about it this way. What are they? Let's see here. 6, 8, 9. 9. They've won 9 of their last 10. The last time they've won, actually, 7 in a row now. The last time they lost was going back to week 11, a 34-31 contest. But they're one of the hotter teams in football. And the fact that their numbers offensively have pretty much stayed. Think about this. 31 they scored against Indianapolis, 41 against the Bears, 30 against Philadelphia, 31 against Detroit, 24 against the Panthers. That was probably their closest game. Then 40 against Tennessee, where that they destroyed that good team. Then 35 against the Bears, 32 against the number 1 defense in the National Football League. What would make you think that they can't win this game coming up? Now, I don't want to blow a lot of unicorns and rainbows up your ass, okay? But what I'm saying is that I look at this team, and if they play their game, they're going to win this game, and they're going to go on to a Super Bowl. They're going to be there. Let's see here. This one's from Carl. Bill, you the man, still grinding. Earn the respect. You the man, Carl. You know, there's a lot more coming up. Don't worry. Don't worry. Packer houses. Don't worry. Everything's cool. We're all good. My buddy Justin, the pinched nerve could be worse than a concussion in the long term. It could. You're absolutely right. Nick Collins, Jermichael Finley, Peyton Manning all had neck issues and had pinched nerves and had problems, but they had disc issues. And if that's what it is, then you don't ever want to get that surgery into the neck area. But just because he didn't take that big blast hit to the head doesn't mean if you don't jam that head into the ground that you don't get that frontal lobe concussion. That to me is what it looked like. And the fact that he didn't get up, when he got up, he looked like he looked like a boxer that had just gotten tagged, and then the bell rang. And he got up, his legs were weak, and you're looking at him going, had you given him the 3 minutes to sit there, catch his breath, and then stand up again, and then if you're the boxer coming after him, that you go for the kill shot. Because he wasn't capable of doing anything at that point. It's all about defending yourself. See you, gang. Thanks. Go back. There you go. Our buddy Jeff and his wife Alicia from Stoley's Hog Alley, Stoll's Old 109. I keep saying 108. It's 109 up in Watertown. Great places, great food. And the best part about it is you go to most restaurants and you go to most bars, and it's always, once it gets established and gets going, the owners are never there. They're always there. Alicia's always there. Jeff's always there. They're either in the back cooking. They're coming out and saying hello. They'll come out and shake your hand, talk to you for a little while. Who knows? Every now and then they'll buy you a drink, whatever it happens to be. Great people. And they always support our causes, which is Fisher House, Wisconsin, St. Ben's Community Meal, and feeding the homeless and the hungry. So they're great people. Support them. Like our other sponsors, our other great sponsors. I can't say it enough. Our good friends from Bud Light. Bud Light has been with me since 2000. I've been with Bud. I got here in 99, and we had a different sponsor for 1 year. We gave them the right of renewal because people always say, well, why'd you end up with Budweiser? One is because at the time, the VP over at Beechwood Distributing was a friend of mine, and knew him from his days. He went to a rival high school in Cincinnati. So that was the hookup. Secondly, whenever I needed anything and I would call over there to Beechwood and Budweiser, it was there. I mean, if we were out on a remote and we needed like some extra T-shirts or something, somebody was over there driving it to us. That was the reason we stuck with them so long. Plus, I have the stuff in my house. My girlfriend drinks Bud Light. That's the only beer she'll drink, as a matter of fact. We have it everywhere. So, and they've been really, really, really good people, and they've supported veterans, and they supported Fisher House, and they supported all our ventures. So they've been a really, really good partner for so many years. They employ over 1,500 people just in Wisconsin. And so they pay their taxes here. They go to school here. They buy their goods here. They have houses here. So they're as entrenched here as anybody. So that's the reason we stick with them. We also stick with our friends at Quick Trip. We know the story from Quick Trip. They're great people. Don started it from nothing, had a vision. And now look at it. That's the best, cleanest, most efficient place you'd ever want to go to. We can't say thanks enough to them. So there you go. What else do we got? This is from Gary. He says, I've watched the replays 50 times. I don't think his head hit the ground. It looked like the front of his head right here hit the ground. That's what it looks like. It looks like it's a quick jolt, and that's the extent of it. Otherwise, how do you explain the glassy-eyed look? I can't just say it's the pinched nerve. I've had a pinched nerve. I know friends that have had pinched nerves, or a spinal injury of kind of the stinger effect, if you will. And you can have that, and it can be that way, and you can feel it, in your arms and legs and all that kind of stuff. But you still have more of the wherewithal. Did you see when he ran up the tunnel? When he left the field and ran up the tunnel, he hit the wall. He damn near hit the wall. He's like, as you're turning the corner, you're watching these cars at Indy, and now they come really wide, and they get up next to the wall, and then they come back. He was running up the tunnel. Instead of just jogging up the middle of the tunnel, he was like over by the wall. Look, he looked a little dazed and confused. You know what I mean? What else do we got? If you want to hit me up, you can go to Gmail. You can find us over there right now, thebillmichaels@gmail, thebillmichaels@gmail. This is from Brad. Says, hey, enjoying the podcast. I think now that Bakhtiari is hurt, Lindsay over Jones becomes more of a priority to sign, because who knows if Bakhtiari is going to be the same after the injury. It's easier to replace one lineman versus two. Any thoughts on this? Thanks. That's from Brad. Brad, thanks for watching. I certainly appreciate it. I think Corey Linsley, if you watch that last game against the Rams, he was amazing. Him and Elgton Jenkins, those guys were maulers. We don't talk about Corey Linsley near enough. Think about it when he got here. He came in, was expected to sit for a year as a rookie, not do a whole lot, and, man, he became a mauler. So, he's been a guy that's really anchored that center position, has that good relationship with Aaron Rodgers, and in addition to that, has also been the guy that calls out the blocking schemes, the blocking signals. So, he's been a guy that's been integral when it comes to the ability to help Aaron Rodgers with blocking schemes and where the pressures are going to be coming from. So he has done a fantastic job. But Elgton Jenkins, come on, he's been tremendous. For as much as you want to give Brian Gutekunst grief about certain things that he's missed on, boy, Elgton Jenkins was one of them. Rashawn Gary has certainly come on. I got to take back a lot of the things that I said about Rashawn Gary beginning of the season. I thought Rashawn Gary has played a progressive year, a very good year. He has turned out to be a lot of what they wanted him to be. You know what I'm saying? I think he's had a hell of a year. Gary says they say it was a spinal concussion. There you go. Look, I'm not going to argue because the doctors say one thing. I just knew, between you, me, and the fence post, okay? Didn't we just know that when he went out, we knew damn well they weren't going to list him as concussion protocol? Because if they did, the chances of him playing in the AFC Championship game would have been shrunk. Come on. How many times have we seen it? Right? I'm sorry I'm so skeptical, but the minute I had a buddy of mine text me the minute Patrick Mahomes went down and said, concussion, look at him, he's wobbled, he's punch drunk, the whole thing, no way he plays next week. And I texted him back and I said, they're going to call it a hangnail. He's not going to go in concussion protocol, and he'll play next week. And the guy said, I'll bet you $50. Easiest $50 I ever won. Because we know he's going to play, right? We knew that. What else do we have for you? This one, let's see here. We got a couple different things. This is from Mark, and Mark says the first time these two teams met, he said, Aaron Jones did not have a great game. What do you think is going to be different this time? Yeah, Aaron Jones last time, I think, if I'm not mistaken, went 10 carries, 15 yards, didn't do a whole lot. He had a couple of catches, but I think he was like a total of 35 or 40 yards in the last contest between these two teams. I think you're going to see Aaron Jones be more of a factor. But I think you're also going to see the mix with Jamal Williams. You're going to see the mix with A.J. Dillon, provided he can go. And I just think it's going to be different. You're going to see, remember the first two drives the Packers had against Tampa Bay were masterful. It's when they got off script and suddenly the two turnovers happened is when things began to kind of unravel for this team. So I'm all for it. I think they're going to run the ball and they're going to keep it more balanced. Remember last time it was 21 carries versus Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball 35 times. He was 16 of 35. It was his worst quarterback rating. It might have been in his career, but he had a 35.4 quarterback rating in that contest. He threw the two picks, one of them a pick six, not a touchdown. And he had Devontae Adams. Remember, that was Devontae Adams' comeback. And Devontae Adams got fed the ball, I think it was 10 times, 10 targets, 6 catches. Then it was Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Aaron Jones, Tanyan, Darius Shepard, Equinemius St. Brown, Mercedes Lewis, Taylor, Jamal Williams. And basically it was Devontae, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, and Aaron Jones. Those were the 3 really main targets. Robert Tanyan, I think he had 3 or 4 targets in that game. So I think you're going to see them spread the ball. And my point being is you're going to see Alan Lazard in the mix, Equinemius St. Brown in the mix, Marquez Valdez-Scantling in the mix. You're going to have Tanyan in the mix. You're going to have them all. I think you're going to see probably 9 receivers in this one. Landock says, welcome back. Any chance that Green Bay goes no huddle to keep Tampa's defense off balance? One thing I would love to see that, but the one thing I don't want to see is Aaron Rodgers in shotgun continuously, much like they used to do with Mike McCarthy's offense, to give him the extra step. You basically took away the run, and it always looked like that really crappy ass running back draw. And it never materialized. Aaron Rodgers is at his best in play action. This offense is at its best in play action, misdirection, the fake handoff. Look at last week when he ended up getting the defender up into the air on that rollout. It was the fake handoff to Aaron Jones. Defense goes one way. Aaron rolls out, gets one guy who's shadowing him, gets him into the air, runs in for a touchdown. It was somewhat of a broken play. It didn't turn out the way you'd wanted it, but everything opened up because of play action and because of the play fake. So when you do things like that and you have more motion and more ability for the defenders to focus on something, especially if they get caught looking into the backfield, that's when they're at their best. That's when they're at their best. Packer House says he's officially in the concussion protocol. I wasn't sure. I didn't know if he was in the concussion protocol. When they said it was a pinched spine or a pinched nerve, I didn't think they put him in the concussion protocol. But if they did, good. Did not know that. So I have to go back and reread it. I was reading about the injury today. As a matter of fact, I posted it on the Facebook fan page over at The Bill Michaels. And I posted it, and they were talking about that being a nerve issue, not a concussion. And that was actually that. I don't know if that was. I don't know who that was through. I don't know if it was The Athletic or Sports Illustrated. Whoever had that article, you have to go back and check it out, though. But I was reading, and I didn't read anything about concussion protocol in the beginning of that article. The Frosty says the linebackers for Tampa Bay scare him. That I would agree with. They got really solid linebackers. They can cover, and the fact that they can shadow, much like they did the first time with Aaron Rodgers. They can shadow Aaron Rodgers, shadow Aaron Jones, and they're good. You're 100% correct. What they have is 3 or 4 guys, really. I mean, when you look at their linebackers, I mean, Levante David is really, really solid. We know that, okay? But when you got a guy like Devin White, Shaquille Barrett, the outside linebacker, those guys, you even look at their Deion Buchanan, who doesn't play a ton, but is solid as well. He's had a pretty good season. He's filled in a couple of times and had a pretty good season. All of those guys. The thing about it is they've all got bulk and they've all got speed for the most part. And when you've got a good combination like that, yeah, you're going to have a lot of success. Plus, I think David is just so smart. He's got that extra instinct. When you have guys like that are just that instinctual player, what was he? Was he a second-round draft choice? Yeah, he was a second-round draft choice who's really materialized. Devin White, first-round draft choice a couple of years ago as well. Both of those guys really, really solid. I like the linebacking core that they have. What else do we get? This one's from, this is LaShawn who writes, he's listening to us down in Houston, Texas. He said, transplanted Packers fan, what is the weather going to be like? Do you think the weather plays a part in this game? I'm sorry if you've already covered this. Yeah, we did go over it, but I think the weather itself isn't going to play too much of a role in it, unless it becomes like the snow globe effect, where you have a lot of snow and maybe it just does some. Because if you don't have wind, it doesn't matter. The snow can give you a little bit more treacherous footing, and footing in your home stadium, and you know what's coming versus playing on a different surface that you don't know what's coming. That can benefit you, specifically the offense. But unless it's windy, I don't think it's really gonna matter too much when it comes to Tampa Bay. I mean, this is an NFC Championship game. You can't get up for this. You can't put the cold out of your mind for an hour and a half at a time, and really for about 10 minutes at a time. 5 minutes at a time, depending on how long you're actually on the field. When you get over to the heated benches and the heaters and the jackets wrapped around you to get your fingers and your toes and such warm, yeah, I don't worry about it too much. I don't think it's going to be that bad. I don't think it's going to be that windy. I don't think it's going to be that frigid. We're broadcasting live out here at Wisconsin Harley-Davidson. That's where we're at. If you want to come out and want to take a look around, by all means, go ahead. They've got the 2021s. Take a look through the showroom now. The 2021s are arriving daily. The one sitting right here in front of us is the brand new Road Glide. It's got the gunmetal denim on black, and the whole thing is completely blacked out. It's just the 114 engine, just a badass engine. It's got a boom audio system in it. It's got front and rear speakers. It's got the high handlebars. It's a nice decked out bike. You know what would look good on that bike is if they took off that windshield. You put one of those low-rise black windshields, smoke windshields on the front of that thing, and then that bike looks just mean looking bike. And obviously they have all the Bluetooth capabilities and such now. I mean, so my old bike is actually here. It's actually over on the other side of the showroom, but the old Road Glide that I had is still here on the showroom floor. And I think that thing's down to about 20 grand now. That thing is loaded too. That's even got XM radio on it, but that's got everything: heated grips. It's got 2-up seat. That's got the mid windshield on it, much like the one that you're looking at right there in the picture right in front of us right now. It's got navigation on it. I mean, it's nice. 4-speaker system, boom audio. It's got the upgraded audio system in it, and that bike is nice. I think that thing, it's maybe 18,000 miles on it, 15,000 miles on it, something like that. I didn't put that many on it. Specifically last year, I didn't put hardly any miles on it. So if you're looking for a bike, man, that's the way to go. That's the way to go. Packer Buckaroo, you the man. How you doing? You the man. Got some more here. Let's keep going. We got a lot of emails to get to and a lot of comments to get to. Again, welcome back. We're broadcasting live here at Wisconsin Harley-Davidson in Oconomowoc. Next week, we're going to be up in Wausau, going to be up at Dwayne's Cover It All in Wausau, and we're going to show you some of the great work that he does, not just in the boats, because my boat's up there. So not just in boats and boat covers and canopies and stuff like that, but also when you talk about the ability to do, say, office furniture, things for your home, dining chairs, leather chairs, chairs, sofas, all that kind of stuff. He can do all that kind of stuff. So that's going to be coming up next week. So looking forward to it. Hey, Wisco Jake says, regarding Aaron Jones' extension, if he was offered fully guaranteed contract of 4 years, $36 million, do you think he would accept it? Would be $4 million more guaranteed than McCaffrey, but less overall money. First of all, yeah, I would think in that realm he would if he's got more guaranteed. But what I'm thinking is, if I'm the Packers, do I want to go 4 years? Now, if you got the ability to cut it loose after 2, maybe. Because again, I go back to the fact that running backs in the National Football League, when they drop, they drop. When you lose that extra gear, when you lose that quick, when you lose that little step, when it drops, it drops. So it's paying running backs more than 3 years scares me. It just does. If you've got the ability to get out of it after 2 years, I'm all for it. But if not, I'm not doing it. Just my opinion. And I love Aaron Jones. I don't want to see Aaron Jones go. I want to see them make it work. And as a fan, I want to see them keep him. He's for a few reasons. One, he's a good running back. He's got an extra gear and he's got a certain something. We saw that last week against the Rams. But in addition to that, he's become a much better receiver out of the backfield. And in addition to that, he's also very intelligent when it comes to picking up blitzes and helping out Aaron Rodgers. He's been really good at it. If you've ever focused on Aaron in the pocket, Aaron Rodgers in the pocket, and then you see Aaron Jones in the backfield, watch him. Just take a couple of times and watch him work. Okay? Because most of the time when you're watching television, you follow the play. Okay? You follow the ball, you follow the play. Right? But a lot of the time, if you pay attention away from the ball and away from the play, you can really get an insight as to what's going on in the field. You know, who's doing their job, because they always say, 1 of 11. You really do. You got to do your job for everybody to work, because in football, it's the weakest link. Whatever your weakest link is, that's going to be where the dam is going to burst, and you're ultimately going to cost your team if you're a truly weak link. But Aaron Jones has become so good. So would I pay him? I would love to pay him. As a fan, I want to see them pay him. as somebody who kind of analyzes things, I would do that contract, but I would make sure that I can get out of it after 2 years. It doesn't kill me, and 3 years it doesn't cost me anything. You know what I mean? But you also have to remember, Aaron Rodgers' salary is going to go up exponentially next year. That's first and foremost. So that's going to go up. In addition to that, you're going to have, you got to pay Corey Linsley. You're going to have to figure out, you just got your secondary to where you want it. And now you're going to say, well, maybe we won't pay Kevin King eventually. What are you going to do with your linebacking position? Za'Darius and Preston. Preston going to walk? He's just starting to play good. Do you want to let him go? Do you want to try to keep him around for another year? How do you want to do that? Everything's going to – there's a lot of changes coming in Green Bay's way just because it's starting – and this is what sucks about the NFL. As it starts to culminate, it starts to come to fruition, and everything really starts to mesh, you've got a couple of really big contracts now that you got to overcome. And I've always said, when you look at quarterbacks, no quarterback in the history of the National Football League has ever won a Super Bowl making more than 13% of their team's total payroll. Now, we don't know what payroll is going to be next year, but we believe it's going to actually go down and not up. And Aaron Rodgers' salary is going to go up exponentially. So I'm not saying it's Aaron's fault or anything like that. I'm just simply saying, here's the facts. So and I said this a while ago, I said, whatever you pay him, you pay him. He's worth it. Look at what he's doing, right? But with that, then comes the reality of you can't pay everybody. And you're going to have to let some quality people that's what you want to do. You want to be able to take quality people, bring them in, draft them, cultivate them, and that's when you want to be able to pay your own people. And you probably aren't going to be able to afford to do that with a couple of these guys, unfortunately. Gary says 21% is Aaron Rodgers' hit next year. I haven't done the math. I knew it was going to be higher, but I haven't done the math. That's scary. That's scary. I don't want to sit here and make predictions on next year, but again, throughout the history of the Super Bowl, no team paying a quarterback more than 13% of their team's total salary. And you know who did that? The highest paid quarterback making the highest percentage for his team, the last quarterback to win. Not Tom Brady. Not Peyton Manning. Nope. Steve Young. Steve Young was the last quarterback making one of the highest percentages for his team salary payroll-wise, and I think it was about 12 point something percent. That was the highest. Steve Young. You are correct, Gary. You are Steve Young. Correct. We got about 15 more minutes. We are broadcasting live out here at Wisconsin Harley-Davidson and Oconomowoc. And here's the thing. If you're listening to us or watching this anywhere throughout the country on the World Wide Web, go to their website, wishd.com, and you can see the bikes, all the motor clothes, and I will put up all the videos coming up here after the broadcast. We'll put those up, and then you can see the walk around. You can see the showroom. You can see the motor clothes, the leathers, the boots, the shoes, the helmets, all the different things that they have, all the different rooms that they have. They've got the clearance center in the back. All the new bikes, obviously. Well, the bikes we've been talking about. You want to come on? Come on. We'll get Craig over here. Craig is a general manager out here at Wisconsin. So if you're going to come out, you're going to get a bike. Craig is the GM. So throw the headset on and say hello. Here we go.
Hello, everybody.
So there you go. So the one we got in front of us. Okay, let's talk about that real quick because I was trying to tell people about that, which is the Road Glide Limited. Just an incredibly beautiful bike. So I'm going to go ahead and show that thing right now on camera. So that's the one that's sitting in front of us right now.
That's a 21 Road Glide Limited.
Got to talk into the microphone.
Got to talk into the microphone.
That's what they're for.
And that's River Rock Gray denim.
Is that what that is?
It is.
I thought it was gunmetal gray
It's
denim.
not.
It's River Rock Gray
It's like
denim.
an old Jeep color.
Okay.
Yeah, but this is River Rock Gray denim.
Okay.
Accompanied by the black denim.
Which is just a bad looking bike.
It is a badass bike.
It is.
All it needs is a set of 12-inch bars, maybe a blacked out windshield.
What size bars are on it now?
So there's about a 7 to 8 inch bar. 7 to 8 inch bar.
Okay.
I'll get this right.
Yeah, you'll get it right one of these days. That's okay.
Yeah.
So on that bike, because that bike retails what?
That is, hey Jeff, what is the retail on that bike?
Like a 30 grand bike or something like that. Which
with,
there's
with
deals
with the RDRS and the blackout package is probably more like 33, 34.
33.
029.
33029.
Yeah.
But you're dealing.
Yeah, we're always dealing.
You're dealing out here.
You know, Wisconsin Harley-Davidson is the destination dealer. We're always looking for new customers.
Yeah.
We've got a great service department.
Now, you guys explain what the you guys have been winning awards out here for a long time. Explain what the awards are.
So in the last couple of years, Harley had the Bar and Shield. We've been the #1 dealership in Wisconsin for the last 2 years. It's been an honor. The retail excellent. We were the #2 dealership in the country out of 636 dealers back in 2018. So yeah, it was a great honor.
Yeah. And so not only do you have people coming from around the state of Wisconsin, but also pretty much all over the country.
We do.
Because you had a deal on my bike. The guy was like, what, from Colorado or something like
I think
that?
the guy was from Oregon.
Oregon?
Yeah, something changed in his life, and unfortunately, miracle, we couldn't close the deal.
Yeah.
But the bike's for sale. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
2016 Road Glide Ultra.
So I know I think it
accessories.
retails at about 20, but I think you might be able to get it for just a
I
tad
think we
less
could
than
probably make a really good deal on
that.
that.
Yeah,
bike.
maybe that's one of those today only deals.
Absolutely.
You know,
Come
something
down
like
to
that.
Bill Michaels special.
Yeah, that's a beautiful bike.
Come
too.
see Mike Miracle.
Yeah.
He's ready to sell a bike today.
Hey, did you eat all the pizza, by the way? There's still some back. I never got one. I never got a piece. That would be. We'll do that. Just save me some. That's all I asked for.
Well, there were 6. We got to thank Stoli's because that pizza.
I did too. We had them on.
Fantastic.
Yeah, the pizzas over
It was
there.
really
awesome.
good.
Yeah, good stuff.
I had a fish sandwich over there.
Real
a couple
quick,
weeks ago.
let's talk about the events that you guys have, because coming up in March, you got Bikes and Brews.
Yep.
You're gonna have music out here and beer tastings and all that kind of stuff coming on out here in March.
Rachel, our marketing manager.
Sam Gaitan, by the way, is fantastic. His dad Marcel is a huge name when it comes to Milwaukee music. But Sam is going to be here. So if you've ever seen like Bruno Mars, the dude's like Bruno Mars.
Yeah,
He can do it all. He's unbelievable.
We're doing things a little different this year. We're going to keep everything inside. In the
Okay.
last couple of years, we put up the big tents. We do the heaters, but we're going to try something a little different.
Okay. So
We're gonna
keep
do
it
it
in the
inside.
building.
Yeah.
Okay. But once summer gets here, it's balls of the wall after
It
that.
is.
Yeah.
Wide open.
I know. Now, you guys had a great year, though, when it came to, I mean, COVID last year sucked, but you still were able to put on events. It wasn't as big as it's been in the past.
No.
But you guys were able to have, obviously, the rally weekend was huge. You had
We
a lot
cut
of
it
fun.
down from 5 days. We went to 3 days, and I think the turnout was absolutely amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
all the feedback that we got from all the riders in Milwaukee,
Right.
that we had probably one of the biggest turnouts we've ever had, minus an anniversary year.
Yeah. You guys have become, when it comes to dealerships in Milwaukee, kind of become the place. Milwaukee has done well. Obviously, you had one closed down in the area. To the south has not necessarily lived up to the expectation. You guys have been the place to go for everybody, with
Absolutely.
stages in the front, stages in the back. The giant sports bar. Whose idea was that?
I don't know. We're going to have to give Robert some credit for that because I think
The
they've
owner?
been doing it for a few years.
Okay.
Yeah, a 4,500 square foot sports bar with TVs,
It's huge.
foosball. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah,
All the great beers from MKE.
right.
So thanks,
Dave Hawk and the whole gang
Dave
down there
Hawk,
where we were this
great
past
job.
Sunday.
Louis' Demise is always a fan
Yeah.
favorite.
So, which there's a few people that had the demise out here because of that.
Several days.
Yeah.
Several days.
But you guys do a great job out here, and there's plenty of parking and the shuttles that run back and forth and everything.
I think
so.
last year on the 2 stages, I think we had 19 bands, which one of the best music lineups. We've got a great headliner coming up this year, and hopefully soon we can announce who that's going to be.
Okay. You can't make the announcement on the podcast.
Well, I mean, we probably could.
Can we get a hint?
How about Blacktop Mojo?
Really?
As our Saturday night headliner
Wow.
for the Milwaukee Rally. Unfortunately, with COVID,
Yeah.
last year they had to cancel. They canceled a lot of their
Right.
shows nationwide.
Yeah.
But, they've signed back up. They're going to be
That's
this Saturday
awesome.
night. They're going to be on the big stage.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you heard it here first.
Yeah.
On the podcast.
Yeah, we're pretty
Fantastic.
excited.
So when it comes to square footage, size, and land, are you guys the biggest in the state?
I don't know if we have the most. square
Everest is big.
footage.
I know. That's
Yeah.
a massive
Yeah.
place up there in Green
Well, with the
Bay.
new Riders Academy a lot. I mean,
Right.
it really helps us out.
You guys do everything on site when it comes to
We-
Riders
we
Academy.
do. You know, from the great event that we throw. I mean, to your Fisher House ride.
Right.
We always have the room to bring back all the bikes. And last year, I think we had 400
We
bikes.
had 400 bikes last year.
That was an amazing ride.
Yeah.
A little bit of rain.
Didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
I mean, it sprinkled for about 6 seconds,
Yeah.
and that was about the
Yeah.
extent of it.
that was the beginning of our ride.
So, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we hopefully will grow bigger and better this
I
year.
hope so.
Now that we have less constraints and no COVID,
Right.
that's going to kill us.
Right.
We all can just now say to hell with it, and we're going to do our thing. I know that's not politically correct, but it's a podcast, so who cares?
Right.
So there you go. All right. Anything else about any of the bikes coming in that they need to know about?
We're getting new bikes in every day. So the last 2 days we've been on with.
When are you getting that new CVO Limited?
So it will be here next week.
The purple and black CVO
purple
Limited.
and black.
Oh my God.
There's 4 new CVO models this year. We've got the Street Glide, the Road Glide, the Limited, and of course they brought the CVO Trike back.
Okay.
And the colors are absolutely amazing. We're
Perfect.
getting all of the colors within the next week. We'll have all models displayed, and then it's just it's wide open for the rest of the year.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. All right, pal. Appreciate it.
Hey, I appreciate it.
We only got about
Thanks.
10 minutes left to go, and
Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, it's good.
Maybe we should talk to Rachel a little bit about some of the upcoming events.
Rachel, you want to come over?
You got a couple minutes?
Come on over. Talk about the
All
upcoming events, because he's just got kind of the short list in his mind. But come on over and sit down for a second.
All right. Thanks, Bill.
And yeah, my pleasure. And Rachel is the go ahead, come on over. And Rachel is here with us. And you are the PR director, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah, I guess.
If you want to put it that way.
Trades, marketing events,
Yeah.
all of them.
I'm going to say PR director. It sounds better than marketing. Marketing makes it sound like you're outside in a sandwich board.
Right, exactly.
So start out with Bikes and Brews.
Yeah, so Bikes and Brews is going to be one of the coolest events. It's got to be the best event, beer tasting event in the coolest setting. You're surrounded by all of these motorcycles. You're surrounded by our staff, and we've got a stage. We've got tons of beer tastings. I mean, it's going to be huge.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So that's the first one coming up.
It is.
What else kind of do we look forward to after that? Because I know people are going to be at that point. When you get into March, then you're thinking April and May and ride.
Sure. So we do Bikes and Brews in March because people want to get out of the house.
Right.
So then we start our bike nights in the summer, and those are going to be awesome. We've got some really big names for those. So it's going to be Cherry Pie, Rebel Grace.
Yeah.
Another big
The big name
names.
bands. Yeah.
Absolutely. And we've got a ton of rides happening after that on those Saturdays.
Okay.
So lots of great charities that we're helping out. So Burn Camp, we're doing something for them. Waukesha County Canines, we're doing a lot of stuff for them this year. Yeah, it's going to be really
If they want to
exciting.
find out the information as to where to go and what events are coming up, and specifically the rides, where do they go?
Absolutely. So we have all of our events listed on our website, wishd.com.
Okay. Wishd.com. Easy enough to remember.
Yeah,
Okay.
Absolutely.
So that's it. Good stuff.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. So there you go. That's it. That's everything going on out here. So if you want to get and become a part of the riding culture out here, maybe you got a bike, you want to trade it in, you want to buy a new one, this is the place to come. Wisconsin Harley-Davidson. A couple more questions before we get out of here. This is from, by the way, yes, they have trikes out here. Peanut trikes all over the place. There's one sitting right here in front. As a matter of fact, they got another trike that's sitting here. So yeah, they've got some trikes. This one's from Carl from the South Side. Said, I have faith the Packers are going to get the deal done. Jones and others when it comes to signing them in the offseason. This is from Mac Daddy, who is listening to us down in Kentucky. He says, do you think they would have done well hanging on to Randall Cobb? There's a Randall Cobb question because you're a Kentucky fan. Randall Cobb coming out of Kentucky, right, Mac Daddy? No, I don't. Sorry to burst your bubble. I think what they've got right now is solid. If they would have picked up another wide receiver, I wish they would have picked up one of the young guys, but that's neither here nor there because what they've been able to do. Here's the one thing when it talks about they haven't needed anybody. You're right, because they've won games the way that they are supposed to win games, and that is by getting up by a score or two and then letting the defense just do enough to sustain and allowing the offense to kind of make it a track meet and run away with it. So they've been very good at that. What I'm interested in, and we hope we don't have to see, is what happens if the Packers get down by 2 scores and it's mid-third quarter and you've got a defense that says Devonta Adams is not going to beat us. We're taking him completely out of the mix. Now you have to rely 100% on Marquez Valdes-Scantling and Alan Lazard and Robert Tonyan and Aaron Jones and catching out of the backfield and A.J. Dillon and Jamal Williams. Can they all do that to make up for if you don't have Devonta, if a team is able to take Devonta out of the mix? That's where that extra high-end wide receiver that would have developed through the entire season may come in. But I hope we don't have to see that. I hope at the end of the season, they're hoisting the trophy going, you know what? We won it our way. We won it the way we played football and won a Super Bowl doing it the way we do it best. We didn't need that other guy because this is the way we had envisioned it, because this was the philosophy, was just make it a track meet, do your thing offensively, and then defensively, just enough to sustain. And they did a really good job with Jared Goff and company this past week, because that's the way they played, because they kept everything in front of them. You know, they kept everything in front of. Yes, it's maddening if you are a hardcore enthusiast, because you watch Twitter. I watch Twitter, and Twitter just blows up. Oh my God, they can't tackle. Oh my God, Pettin again, playing soft coverage. You know, King sucks. Savage sucks. I mean, but when you sit back for a second, even if they give up the opening drive, Tampa Bay goes right down and scores. Here comes the playing soft and everything sucks. But then they come back and score. And then you settle. Okay, you find out what they're doing, and then you settle. And then, for the most part, okay, the way the script has gone this season, you keep everything in front of you. That's what you do. You keep it all up in front. And then when you get into that short red zone, and the field becomes compressed, the field actually helps you, and thus you're holding them to field goals and not giving up touchdowns. So that's the way they do it. So we got a few more minutes before we have to get out of here. I got to say thanks to our friends from Bud Light. Bud Light Seltzer. Go to budlight.com. Unquestionably good. Also, our friends from Quick Trip, who have been a huge supporter of the program. Thanks to them for being here. I feel like Dickie V. I can see myself in the camera. Oh, I tell you, baby. But that being said, thanks to our friends at Quick Trip, thanks to our friends at Stoley's Hog Alley, and over there at Stoll's Old 109, Joe Hennis and the great staff at Sloppy Joe's out there in Hubertus, our friends right up the street here in Pewaukee, the Pewaukee area, Ryan and his great staff at Curly's on the waterfront. You talk about some really good food. Went to a good fish fry there just last week. Really good fish fry. Had a lot of fun there. They have great wraps as well. Their chef salad there. They got the pig porker burger over there, which is great. They got a chef salad. I couldn't recommend it anymore. I get it with the honey mustard. Get it with whatever you want. The chef salad's fantastic. Fantastic. Jonathan Green. Jonathan, you should be here with me. Jonathan Green. Remember those, for those listening to us in Wisconsin right now. Remember the greenhouse? I worked on the greenhouse at WTMJ about 12 years ago. Jonathan Green. John, you should be here. I was thinking about you today when I was setting this up, because we're in Harley-Davidson. And we're here today as they launched the new bikes yesterday. And so you can take a look at what's in front of me here, John. So I love that Road Glide right here in front of me. That's the one that I've got my eyeball on. But I was thinking about you today when I was setting up, thinking, man, if there's anybody I could do a show with today, it would be Jonathan Green from the Greenhouse. We had a great time doing that. Myself and him and Phil Cianciola, we had a great time doing that from years and years and years ago. Also want to say thanks to many of our other sponsors. Like I said, Dwayne and the group from Dwayne's Cover It All up in Wausau, and we're going to be heading up there next week. Skipper Buds. I'm sure you're looking at maybe something for the summer. If you're looking at a motorcycle, don't forget the other toys are waterbound toys, and they've got Skipper Buds right out here in Pewaukee. Go in and say hi to Ryan in service. Go in and say hi to Todd and the gang over at Skipper Buds. They're good people there as well. And we're going to be doing some stuff with them coming up here in a short period of time. One of the best sports, if you're looking for a place to go for one of the best sports bars in all of Milwaukee to go watch the NFC Championship game this weekend, make it Stenny's. The wings there are fantastic. And don't forget the Bill Michaels garlic cheese bread. Oh, so good. Oh, my God, so good. So stop down there and tell Ryan and LJ and JoJo and everybody we said hello, because we can't say thanks enough to them. So there you go. My buddy Todd the Llama. Llama's also over there. When you talk about behind the scenes of the greenhouse, the Llama was doing some producing for the greenhouse for a while. He says hi to everybody as well. So good stuff. Anyway, it's been a pleasure. It's our second effort in all of this, and I know I didn't get a chance to put the videos on the podcast the way I wanted. It ended up going to black screen. That's something we'll figure out technically. I don't know what specifically went wrong with that, but I'll try to fix that later this week. But I will. The videos from here inside Wisconsin Harley-Davidson that we shot earlier this morning, I will post them for you. You can take a look at the bikes. You can take a look at the motor clothes. You can take a look at the size of this place. So many different things. And the used bike inventory, I shot a video of that a little while ago, and the used bike inventory here is amazing. So they have got, because a lot of dealerships right now are waiting for the 2021s to roll in. They have a lot of them. And they're getting more every day. So if you are looking for a motorcycle, if you're in the riding culture, by all means, Wisconsin Harley-Davidson is by far the place to go, without a doubt, hands down. And it's not just because I know these people. It's because I'm sitting here in the midst of it, and it's the one of, if not the best dealership I've ever been in, hands down. So I'm going to be back later this week, and we're going to do another one of these probably on Thursday, I think. We're going to do one more of these, and then we'll do something over the weekend as well, probably something during or after the NFC Championship game. But this has been a blast. This has been a blast. I know I'm getting a lot of people that are hitting me up on email. And for those of you that have been emailing me, you can always find me, the Bill Michaels, 3 words, put them all together, the Bill Michaels over at Gmail. You can hit me up here on the Facebook fan page, on Periscope, on Twitter, YouTube. You can make comments as well on all the different platforms and channels. You can find us there. But we will wink and a nod, I guess. As much as I want to announce things, I can't. There's just some things that we can't do just yet, but we will. So I wanted to let you know that, good things are coming. Good things are coming. You know what I mean? Sometimes they always say when one door closes, another one opens. I was thinking when one door closes, maybe I jump out the freaking window, but, that doesn't solve anything, right? Right? Okay. Plus, it's me and my dogs. We're all hanging out. New girlfriend. We're getting ready to ride for the riding season to come up. We've got Super Bowls to go to. We've got spring trainings to go to. We got a lot of different events. Also, we're going to be doing the motorcycle ride again this year. We got too much going on, right? We got a lot of good stuff. So hang in there, and I'll make some announcements hopefully real soon. So it is time for me to get out of here. We're going to go ahead and depart. But thanks to the staff and the management out here, Wisconsin Harley-Davidson, making it great. Thanks for you, some great chatter. We'll do a lot of questions and what ifs and all that kind of stuff as well coming up here in the next one. Just kind of some, more adult chit chat. But until then, time for us to go. Have a good one. See you.